Fake.
All right. All right, everybody. I believe that we're live. Let me check the chat. It's letting everyone in.
Hey, I want to show you something.
It's doing a
Go ahead
commercial.
and skip this video if you don't like gadgets.
Let me mute that.
And I found the perfect one.
There you go. Skip the ad. Hey, Chin Potter. You know what? I got to introduce you to my friend Chin Potter, man. He's an incredible artist, and you know what? He deserves the work. See if you can help him out later. Let's see here. Popping up the chat. We're live. People are coming in slowly but surely. So this is really, huh? How many is there right now?
Yeah.
Right now, 7 as far as I can see, but it'll change. It's building. So, okay, so here we go. Here we'll just get started. I'll tell everyone what's going on. So, what's up, guys? Hi, Felix, Steve. Looks like Bradley's in the chat too. Chin Potter's here. Joe, Carolina, Chris, Huma, the comic book villain. What up? I know the villain's going to enjoy this. He likes specking on these different types of books. We always have good conversations. So I'm really happy today because I'll basically tell you the story. Mr. Bradley Golden reached out to me and he said, "Hey, do you want to review this book?" And I said, "Sure. What's going on?" And he sent me the horror comics. And man, I read it and I did a review, and that was a pretty popular video. Actually, a lot of people liked it. And so we've been talking here and there. And I said, "Let me get you on the channel so you can talk to the subs and talk about all the new books and everything like that." And he's here. He's here right now. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce him. This is Mr. Bradley Cooper. How you doing, buddy?
Golden. But
oh my God. Why did I say Cooper, dude? Oh, it just keeps going in my head. Golden. Can you guys see him on your screen? For some reason on my screen, it's all black. Like on the little screen though, let me lock in on you. Oh, there you go. There you go. So it's locked in on you, bro. So Bradley Golden, he's with Antarctic Press, guys, and he's been bringing back all these horror books, man. Like it reminds me of like EC before Code Comics. You get that little feel inside, like, "Oh, should I be reading this?" type of thing, and it works, man. I know that's what you're going for, right?
Right.
So anyway, let's talk about the 3 main comics. Okay, so they're going on right now. You got the horror comics, you have the exciting comics,
exciting comics,
and
Leave on the Light,
which I really like too. I haven't been able to read the exciting comics yet, and we'll talk about that because from our discussion before, it's very interesting what you're doing over there. So I figured let's talk about horror comic number 1 first. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So basically you're going for the old EC feel. It's about basically an ice cream man. And he I mean, long story short, he's killing people and feeding them to kids.
Yes. Long story short, yes.
But it's more than that to you, because the first issue, well, if I was to compare the 2 books, there's more writing in Leave the Light On for the first one, but you're trying to like build an atmosphere around the main character in horror number 1, right?
He's correct. The reason why they want to like have more writing than hard comics is the sheer fact that people coming in. It's the sheer fact that with horror comics, I wanted the first issue to actually start off with the reader sympathizing with the killer.
And I get that.
You know, okay, here's the thing. with Live on the Light, you automatically know what kind of killer Lassie is. He's been killing children for years. I mean, he's been
yeah,
doing it, for the last 3 to 4 years, which you will find out. And Garrett Marshall, who's been on his case for the last 2 years, actually caught him. Put him to death. Then it's a copycat killer out there doing the same thing he do. So, it's very personal to him. With horror comics, we have Tommy. He's doing what he's doing because he was raised to do that. Or it was, you can say, he was grown to do it. He doesn't just wake
well,
up
that's
one day,
a spoiler.
I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to kill this person. No. What he been throughout his life, which issue 2 would tell that, you will see why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah. So so let's just to get this straight. In Horror Comics 1, it's the ice cream guy, and he basically does you only see him do his first kill, which is his wife. His wife, because she was cheating on him. And then you don't see much, but it's enough to make you get a little creepy crawly. And then in the Turn the Light On, now that's not out yet till Wednesday, right?
It comes out on the 26th.
It already came out?
It comes out on the 26th of June.
Oh, so
we got 3 more weeks.
So I already read it. I don't want to, I guess, that's a different killer, and he's killing kids, like you were saying. So there's 2 different books we're talking about here. I don't want to spoil it, to be honest with you, because I really enjoyed that one. I enjoyed them both, but we were talking about the horror comics. Let's go back to horror comics, because that's out.
Okay.
So he kills his wife, and he kind of use like a meat grinder or something weird like that. I thought I saw him like grinding up.
Yeah, it's this like special made meat grinder that he uses. He always starts with the arms and the hands, and he grinds it up. It's like this, I want to say, milky, smooth,
like a liquefier.
He mix it in ice cream. Yeah, he mix it in ice cream. Different flavors: cocoa, raspberry, blueberry.
You're it kind of is cutting in and out, but basically, yeah. So he liquefies his victims and then puts it in and they love it. They like the ice cream. they absolutely love the ice cream. So it ends there. And what you were telling me is in Horror Comics number 2, we're kind of going to get an origin story of him.
Exactly.
And that's going to be more in detail to find out what the whole thing, right? Why he is, maybe previous kills, stuff like that.
Exactly. And now with Horror Comics number 1, I don't know if you noticed, I kind of left a little spoiler egg or whatever you want to call it. When you turn the page, you see him pulling it into a house. You see children's toys right there in the front line. So issue 2, he's going to be after his dead wife's son.
He's going to go after that. Well, that's a spoiler. So he's going to go after. Oh, it's not his son. It's her.
It's her son.
All right. Well, regardless, we were talking about I had compared the writing of styles because they're both yours, both books. There was a lot more writing in Leave on the Light than Horror Comic, and you had said that there'll be more in Horror Comic, but you're trying to go for us sympathizing with the killer in Horror Comic.
Yes, in the first one.
And we're kind of talking, we're not complaining or nothing, but it seemed like the art kind of took away from that a little bit. And by the way, the art's really good in both these books as well. But what I noticed is in Leave on the Light, there's a lot more story. So so you can get a bunch of different characters. And like I said before, it reminds me of that movie, The Shocker, where the guy gets electrocuted and he comes back from the dead and
Oh yeah.
killing. So, dude, I'm telling you guys right now that's in Leave on the Lights. But what I thought was really interesting about both these books, man, is what you had told me was it's gonna be a shared universe, and I think that's super important. Like, so is there gonna be? So they're all in whether they're different times or whatever, it's the same universe, and they're gonna intertwine. We're gonna see that in the books.
We are.
Okay, so now these are both 3-part minis or 3-part series.
3-part minis.
And then
yes, 3-part miniseries.
And is there another character that we don't know is coming out yet that's in another book?
Yes, you'll see him briefly in Leave on the Light #2. How can I put it without spoiling it? Let's just say
that's all you have to say. That's all you got to say. You got
let's just say there's gonna be more than Chucky on the loose.
More than Chucky. Oh God! Well, so there's this doll.
It's a doll, but you don't know what type of doll.
Oh God! Well, that's cool. So there's going to be 3 then, 3 stories.
Actually, by the end of the year, I will have 5 titles, 5 different stories going on. And then when the beginning of next year, I'm gonna combine them all into one ongoing.
That's going to be badass. So there's going to be overall over the year, there's going to be 5 stories, 3-part minis, all of them, and then next year you're going to have one story with everything connected.
Everything connected.
Oh man, that's dope, dude. So if for you guys out there that's like, well, first of all, those who like the old EC feel horror, and the guys that like to spec, I mean, I'm a spec guy. These are like the origin first appearances, if anything, in these books coming out now. Okay, so I mean, if who knows what this could, the way things are going. Oh wait, I lost myself. The way things are going now in the comic book world, a lot of indies, a lot of stories like this are getting picked up. Like, I don't know if that's like the goal for you. I mean, I know you're a writer and you just want to write and express yourself and stuff, but it seems to me that this type of idea is something that could turn into a show, a franchise, something like that, because everyone's picking up everything. And a multiverse with a bunch of killers and stuff. Man, that sounds dope.
Correct. Now, actually, Leave on the Light has already been optioned.
You're kidding me.
No. Brian Bohan, who's out of Spirit Rider Production, has wanted to produce the movie. I read the first script a couple of days ago. It's pretty fucking good. But it has definitely been optioned by Aerospace Media.
So how does that work exactly? Like, are you gonna be? Is it gonna be your story, or are they gonna change it all?
It's gonna, for the most part, it's gonna be my story, but there will be some changes. Of course, things won't work on the film level. Filming will start this year, so we're looking at a middle to first of next year release, and it's gonna be like a independent sci-fi red box type movie.
Okay, so not in the theaters, but it'll be a video.
Not in the theaters.
Well, still, that's dope. I mean, I was working with a friend of mine's in here. His name's Comic Crypto Stock, and he does stuff with Source Point. And they have this Rotten Tail variant over there. And that was, I don't know if it got pushed or what, but that was like kind of like what you're talking about. Like that type of movie. Kind of like a cult classic horror that didn't go to the full theaters. But I mean, honestly, in my mind, everything you're telling me so far, it's, you know, screaming options. And you already said that one's getting option. And you know what? Honestly, you know, like I said, when I read it, I felt shocker, like 100%. Because I remember that movie. I'm an old guy.
Pinker, yeah.
I'm old, man. So, but I used
I
to love
love it too much.
all the horror movies. But anyway, so that's really cool. So you said that Leave on the Light won't come out to the 26th. You guys, it's really good. I read it. Horror comics really good too. I'm excited for number 2 to know more about the killer, because you didn't really learn a lot in the first one. It's just kind of introduction to like this murderer, you know, feeding juice
People
ice cream juice to kids. But so the other thing I want to talk about, and of course I don't have as much knowledge on this because I haven't read them, is the exciting comics. And those are pretty popular, from what I'm hearing. Now, you told me that you're bringing back old heroes that were never uh,
old
owned.
domain characters, which means characters that was used and were recycled.
So now that you bring them back, are they yours? Like,
The way I did Blackjack, we did it in a way where we kept that character's mythos from the 40s, but we kind of modernized it for the modern age. Instead of it being a man, it's a female. It's actually his granddaughter.
oh, okay.
Spoiler. Um, it's actually his granddaughter, but since he was taking the serum, it kind of the girl kind of inherited it. Meaning it's genetic to her.
Okay. So are these like 40s and 50s heroes, or what year, when are these heroes from?
The 40s.
Okay, which is cool. I mean, I love that. So your whole deal, I mean, all these comics that we're talking about, was this all out of your mind? You wanted to bring back the old horror and the old characters, or was it like a group effort? I'm kind of curious. Well, first, I guess that was all kind of your plan yourself, or
Well, I mean, at first it wasn't. I was just down for just doing Leave on the Light, and when being done, accepted it. He came to me, and I was like, since I specialize in horror, I wanted to do this singular horror verse for Antarctic Press for the sheer fact they don't really have a horror universe. They have manga, superhero, and that's pretty much it.
yeah. Well, there are horror comics out there, but
Yeah,
not
teaser,
not like
teaser.
this.
That's the one I've been into. Teaser, that's the one I've been kind of reading lately. Which I'm gonna talk to David Hutchinson about. I kind of want to bring that into my universe as well. Future issue of either horror comics or Leave on the Line. I'm gonna hint at the things that's going on in that town that's happening in. It kind of tied in into my universe, and from there, he can do whatever he want to do, with Teether, but bring it in into my books as well. Kind of cross promote characters in each other's books. But I have to talk to him about that first.
No, I love that idea. I'm kind of curious, like, did people from Antarctic come to you, or did you reach out to them, or I don't know how that works? Because I mean, I'm not saying I have.
Believe it or not, I reached out to them. I had this Kickstarter. It was called Victoria Black. Ben Dunn liked it and featured it in a book called Magazine. Magazine number 3 and number 4. And with that, of course, magazine didn't really sell too well. They scrapped the whole idea. But from that, it allowed me to bring in my other hard books. And when he looked at them, he loved them. Then from there, Everything's history.
So, I mean,
But I will say this too. While I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, I do have another book that's like the thing that nobody's seen, but I'm bringing that close to Christmas.
that's pretty exciting too. Like the thing from like Antarctica thing, or
The Thing from Antarctic.
oh
Like,
yeah. Well, that's
yes,
perfect for Antarctic Press. If that's where you're going with it. I don't know if it's Arctic or Antarctic. I can't remember in the movie, but
Antarctic.
it was.
It's Antarctic Press.
No, I'm talking about the thing.
The
Where
thing it was actually Antarctica. Yes,
it was Antarctica. Okay, so
Antarctica.
that's enough. Well, I've always been curious because, look, I have a lot of fun. I do this channel and all stuff like that, but I've had ideas. You know, I'm a idea guy. Like that's my thing. That's all I'm good at. And so I've had ideas for stories before, and I try to sit down and write them, and I have it, but I can't put it down. You know what I mean? So I was just curious how that works. I mean, as a writer, I mean, he saw your book, he liked it, he helped you out, but like the whole beginning, because now you're in, you know, and this stuff is good. And I know you probably have a bunch of different stories that you're just waiting for the opportunity, like you said, the Thing book or whatever.
Bunch of sick stories.
Sick. Well, I'm excited, man. I really am. And I guess the biggest thing that intrigues me, there's two things that I really, first of all, I like the stories, and I can't tell you on exciting because I haven't read it. I read a couple pages. That was always accessible to me. So I'm going to have to go pick it up. But
You might not be able to find Exciting Comics #1. You know, they sold out, and they really didn't go to a second printing.
I actually have a question for you. Do you know the print run on like horror comics and Leave It on the Light? I was always curious what type of print runs Antarctic was running with.
With horror comics, you're looking at about a 8,000 print run. With Live on the Light, you're looking at about the same.
That's low. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, he wanted to sell more, but I mean, that's good for like a collector, speculator. You know, my people love low print, you know, indie feel books, and this has it all. Not only is it good, but the opportunity is there for so much growth, because that's the two things that excite me the most are, number one, with Exciting Comics, you're bringing back like these old characters. I love that idea. And with the other two books, that old horror feel. I know there's a lot of books out there, but this is different, guys. I mean, when I read those books, I felt like I was going back. Like, and I know that's what you're going for.
It is.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited, man. I'm really excited. Also, you were saying that you have a couple signed copies of the Horror Comics #1 Teether variant. Is that right?
Well, actually, I'm only gonna sign 30 Teeter variants. I've signed 3 and shipped them out, so you're looking at 26 left.
And that's
Period.
it. No, you're not signing anymore. You like made your mind up.
No.
So if you guys are interested in that, you could, and you know, you said $15, I think, or something like that.
$15, that's it.
You can contact him on Facebook, and it's just Bradley Golden.
Bradley Golden. Look for the profile that has the horror comics at the top of it, and Thomas Lacey picture at the profile pic. He has red eyes.
Oh yeah, I saw the profile pic. You know, it's so funny. Like when you message me, I know this sounds stupid, but you're like, check out this book. It's like, okay, cool. And I read it. I'm like, damn, who is this guy? Am I being hunted? What's going? No. I'm just playing. But you know, the book was that, at least that kind of creepy just for a second, that made me like second guess everything. I'm like, this is
great.
Great. That's what
I
you
did a
want.
good job. Yes, I want to gross you out.
Well,
I
you know,
want you to
honestly,
freak
it
out.
wasn't that bad. You didn't really gross me out, but it had the creepy feel. Like, and you know, it had the classic like bondage when she's all tied up. Like, as soon as I saw her tied up, I'm like, damn, dude, that's old school. Like, before,
Yeah, and it drug out too. The
yes,
torture drug out through the whole. I'm like, yeah,
yeah, the whole you know, you're waiting the whole time to see what's going to happen to her, the whole book, and then you find out what happens, and then you know, I missed a couple of things because I was reading it on my phone, and when I was scrolling through, like it wouldn't show everything. Like I'd have to like go to the side to read something and then go back. And you know, and then we talked about, I'm like, oh my God, no way, you know, like it's, you know,
yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. But I could tell you one thing, man. I like that book, and I really like Leave on the Light, man. That thing, I wasn't sure how far you could to different, but on that one, I was like, damn, right at the beginning. I'm like, damn, that's kind of hardcore. You don't see
Yeah.
everything, but you know
Don't
enough.
waste no time. No,
Yeah,
no time
no,
at all.
no. You're like, damn, can they do this type of thing? Can he do this? Like, but you can do it. So
And now the press gave me free reign, so I'm running with it.
that's pretty awesome, man. I really think these books are going to do really well. I'm so excited to see how the universe will play out. And of course, for Horror Comics #2 to get the origin story and all that too. Let me kind of look at the chat now to see what people are saying, because I've sorry guys, I've been ignoring them. I guess I'll go to this top and see what's up.
Excuse me for a second. Oh, God. I'm back.
All right, let me see here. So the comic villain says Antarctic Press is literally right down the street from him. He can't wait till leave the light comes on out so he can go pick it up. I think he goes directly to the source, which is
Oh yeah,
kind of cool.
the cover to go for. I mean, the regular cover is great. It's awesome, but the cover that you want is the David Hudson cover with the turn over the mouth. That's a flip cover. When you flip it, there's two covers on each side. It's foil.
Oh, okay. So you guys keep that in mind on the alternate covers. And of course, my channel will have the early access before, like about 12, 13 days before they come out. You'll see all the covers. Let's see. So Carolina Chris says, so we get Thomas's backstory on issue 2
Correct.
and her so-called lover who was at the door of as a Jehovah Witness.
That was a man. That's who she was knocking boots with. She didn't have time. She
No,
didn't have tummy food. Tummy knew it.
so that's the guy that got smoked in #1.
Yes, her boyfriend.
Actually, both of them, but spoiler. uh, okay, so Sammy Torres says, "What's up, Golden? Love the horror comic. It was great. I gave a great review." Carolina also.
Yes, she did. I appreciate that, man.
Carolina always says you also send him a preview and for Horror Comics 1, but once I got the full book, I really loved it. Also, Comic Villain says, when does Horror Comics 2 come out? It says in the preview.
Horror Comics 2 comes out 2nd week of July. So just in time for summer.
So is it just like a once a month book then?
Yes. It's like 1 month you're gonna get off, the next you're gonna get it on like the next month you're gonna get hard, next one you're gonna like, and after that is 3 books. Now I will say issue 3 of each title would have 32 pages instead of 24. So it's kind of like a double sized book. It's just final
Number
issue
2
of
or number
that
3?
series.
Number 2.
3.
Oh, number 3 will be a double size. Let's see.
Double sized.
Okay, I'm going to read this anyway. How in the world can you sympathize with this killer? He is pure evil in this comic.
Issue 2, you will understand a lot more where I'm coming from. With I want the reader to sympathize with him, because when he was growing up, his mother and his father were killed, and he was living with his grandpa in his old abandoned apartment complex, and his grandfather, who he called Pops, ran an ice cream business, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, that's good. Look, look, and it's so like just for instance, in any movies or other things. I mean, look, how could you sympathize with Thanos? Okay, that's all I got to say.
I felt where he was coming from.
No,
Personally.
I'm just saying to answer him. To answer him, like we could sympathize with anybody. It just depends on how it's put to us.
Yeah, it's point of view.
Let's see. I'm looking. You guys need to ask questions. Let's see. I have a lot, so I'm looking. Anyone know of any good comic shops in Denver? How about Mile High Comics? Isn't that in Denver?
That's Denver.
Yeah, that's the best. Okay, let's see. Comic Crypto Stock says he doesn't know of any horror universe being done by any press. Now that's cool. That's true because no one's doing a universe. And that's what's so interesting about not only are the books good, but the idea of a universe is something else.
Yeah, I actually came up with this idea, but watching I want to think of, was it Annabelle? No, it wasn't Annabelle. It was the Nun. The Nun.
Oh,
I'm
how
like, wow.
the psychic and all that.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. Imagine if somebody did this in comics.
Yeah.
How much content that publisher would have. I'm
And
like,
the
okay.
demand will be high too for more new stuff. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Exactly. And you don't see other publishers doing these kind of horror comics. They, going with blood and guts and gore, just monsters and shit, stuff like that.
It's just zombie nonstop, man. It's zombie. Everything's a remake of Walking Dead. It's frustrating.
Exactly. It's this here is old school horror. Ain't a lot of blood and guts, ain't a lot of gore, but the creepiness and the tension is there.
I'm 100% with you because although I said it's hardcore, like in my review of the book, it it's not all that blood and gore. I mean, there's some, but you don't see a lot. It's more the buildup, and that's what reminds me of the old school. That's why I love it so much. That's what writing's supposed to do. It's supposed to bring you in.
If you notice, Leave on the Light, I used the same technique that I did in horror comics in that one, where Sarah McKinney is driving down the road and she's stopping at the same thing.
Oh yeah,
and it actually
reminded me of Shocker. That's what reminded me of Shocker the most.
Yeah,
just that whole thing. But yeah, I got it. I mean, you started off strong, but you built the tension up at the end. Let's see here.
Another thing. Remember the last page, the splash page? I got that from a movie, and I want to see if you know what movie that was.
All right. Well, I have to look at it again, and I'll message you but I probably will. No, but don't tell me because I want to have a chance to guess. Let's see. I have a good idea for sci-fi. Glad I got 2 copies. Let me see. Villains got issue 1.
Anybody love Shining?
Huh?
Actually, anybody like the movie Shining? The Shining.
We all love that movie, man.
Okay.
At least I thought.
Gonna be a surprise. There's going to be a surprise homage cover. Live on the Light #2.
Is it like the door scene? Like ripping through the door?
No. It's going to be from the very first movie poster where it's like the woman is sitting in front of him and he got the knife in front of her face and he's seeing his own No. Long reflection in the
Yeah.
knife. That one.
All right. Let me see. There's a lot of questions. So, or not a question, a lot of stuff I'm trying to.
So,
Comic Book Villain wants to know if you'll sign a copy of Horror Comics 1. Dude, Villain, for $15, go to his Facebook and message him, Bradley Golden, and you can buy one.
you can get the teaser variant. You can
What
get
was
the teaser variant. $15.
It'll
All
be the
right.
teether variant. Carolina wants to know if you're going to go to any Comic Cons here anytime soon.
The next con I'm gonna attend is San Diego.
So,
Um,
Comic Con right
well,
there.
I'm trying to attend San Diego with Antarctic Press. The next one is gonna be the one in Texas and Memphis here, and that's it for right now.
Okay, there's a couple more questions I can answer myself. Comic Intellect says, how long a run are you looking to do this to go? It's going to be 3-issue miniseries for all of them, and then next year he's going to combine the universe in one book. Then Shelly Keg says, do I pre-order through my local comic book store? You might be able to, but you can go directly to Antarctic Press and order them.
Yeah.
Let me see. And that's it so far. If you guys have any more questions, please ask them now. But well, honestly, dude, I'm really excited because look, I got to be honest. I collect everything, and I have noticed a change since I started this channel. I've noticed a change in myself. I'm moving towards indies. I'm not saying that I'm sick. Well, I guess I am saying I'm sick of everything else because I can enjoy.
Marvel and DC,
Huh?
the Marvel DC. I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm sick of Marvel and DC. I would say that they've gotten boring. They're
Well,
not
yeah,
original
fade out.
anymore.
I mean, I get it. They're doing new, big events. Like we have the War of the Realms going on right now, and DC's about to start Year of the Villain, and you know that's cool. Okay, but when I'm sitting down reading books after I get all my books, I get together and I read a couple that I like, for instance, Bone Parish and things like that. Uh, I'm finding a lot more. I'm being more entertained by reading indies. Like it's something different. It's something new. And that to me, like I'm like all over this book called Floppy Cop right now. I absolutely think it is hilarious. I know it's a different place and everything, but it's so funny and there's brilliant writing in there. And when I read your books, I felt the same thing. I got something completely different than any other comic book. Like you said, that little creepy feeling, and I wanted to see what happened next. And I was almost afraid of what happens next. And I'm a grown man. Like nothing scares me. Everyone in this time and age is so numb to all like crazy events because we've been living through the last 20 since 9/11. Just all this type of craziness. We're numb to most of it. And this actually gave me some emotions of feeling. So my point is, I'm myself falling in love with more indie new stuff, and the fact that you're bringing it back, I love it. I mean, I absolutely love it. So that's all I got to say about that. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So I wish you all the luck in the world, and I'm excited. Let me see here. Some people are saying the same thing. I just think it's way better for a read. It's something new. Everything's been played out,
Done
and
to death. Yeah, it has.
yeah, I mean, if you've been doing the same thing since the '60s, I mean, yeah, the
Now,
new
you
people.
mentioned zombies earlier.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, when that first zombie movie came out, there was nothing like it out there. You if you think about it, The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, all that is practically that movie.
yeah, they go with the but that's the thing. Like, honestly, if a zombie apocalypse happened right now, okay, in reality, if they were slow ass zombies like in The Walking Dead, I'd be going to McDonald's. I wouldn't give a shit. But if it's like, we know what to do. We've been told. But if it's those like crazy like rabies coming running at you,
World War Z zombies. Yeah.
yeah, that's
They're running and piling over each other. Oh no.
oh no, dude, the world's toast. But I'm just saying,
So,
like they just keep playing the same thing. I mean, how many other new books? Isn't Rags? I didn't even get into that, but that's the same thing, right? I mean, it's just
it is, but it isn't. With Rags, it's definitely got that comedy military flavor to it.
no, I get it, but I mean, like, I think it's been a while since they've really introduced. I mean, yeah, there's horror comics out there, but not like this, man. I mean, this makes me feel like the old days, and I think it's good to go back to that. I think it's important. I can't stress this enough to actually get something out of your read. Your writing is provocative enough to make me like get those willies. Just like Floppy Cop makes me laugh. I have to stop reading it for a second because it's so funny. So, like, believe me, guys, if you haven't checked it out, check that out too, please. But besides that, I mean, I'm really excited. The whole shared universe, and I'm going to try to get exciting comics if I can. Some of my stores might have it. If not, I'll order it. Or maybe you could send me a digital copy. But
I actually have some of those too. I have Exciting Comics #2, the special variant edition, where Exciting Comics #2, I brought back the Revenge Syndicate, where the Griever is on the front cover of this book, and it's like I think only 100 of them out there.
that's great.
I have 50 of them.
Damn, dude, you're cornering the market. So did the artists get the other 50, or do they sell some through the press, or what?
The other 50 went to like the artist, the writer, and the letterer. But
yeah,
they only got 10 copies a piece.
I gotta say the art in both books are really good too. They're at least, well, I haven't seen Exciting. I'm sure it's the same.
It's very, very exciting.
Now, are they the same artists on the 3 books, or is it different teams?
Each book has a different team. The way I do it, depending on the story, that's the type of artist I pick. Like, for instance, Leon and Light 2 will have a different artist from the first one. Stan Yak, he's the artist for Leon and Light #2. Hard Comics #2 is going to have a different artist too. But the art might vary a little bit, but they're going to give you the same feel like the first book gave you.
I'm excited to see the origin of horror comics because you only get the basic in the first, and it's a build up to an origin, which I'm really excited about. And in the other way around, you get the initial in the leave the light on the initial damn, and you start to get a partial origin of the killer and some of the players. So that's pretty exciting, man. Comic Book Villain wants to know where he could buy one of those Exciting 2 variants, I believe.
From me.
So message him on Facebook, guys. Hopefully we won't
either Facebook or message me on Twitter.
Okay.
At Bradley Golden 4. That's my Twitter handle.
Twitter
at Bradley Golden 4.
Okay, so at Bradley Golden 4 on Twitter, and then just Bradley Golden on
Facebook.
And look for the
hard comics and the Thomas Lassie face for the profile.
You got it, man. So anything else interesting that you guys want to tell these guys? We've been on for, man, believe it or not, we've been on for 45 minutes. That's crazy.
Wow.
It didn't seem that long, did it?
It doesn't feel like it.
That's good. So what do you want to tell these guys?
I would say definitely pick up Hard Compass #1 if you can get it. It is a key comic. It is a key book. It's the first appearance of Thomas Wright. I got big things planned for him. Big things. Also pick up, believe it or not, the first appearance of the Butcher. It's been optioned for a movie. I don't know why it's not on Key Collector, but I'm telling you now, it's definitely going to be a key book. Pick it up.
Well, you know, as much as I like key collecting app, you know, I'm not going to get into that because that's like a whole nother conversation.
We'll talk about that amongst each other.
Yeah, but there's,
Yeah.
but there you go, guys. You already know Leave on the Light got picked up already, so get your pre-orders in. You can check out Antarctic. You can check out possibly your comic book store. I would go straight to the source, honestly, Antarctic Press. And that's it, man. I really appreciate you giving me the time. It really worked out nicely. This is what I want to do on my channel. I mean, besides giving these guys early access info for comics and fun unboxings and stuff like that, I want to interview the creators, you know, because to me, that's the biggest thing for us. I mean, for me, to get some inside knowledge and stuff like that, learn about you yourself as well. See, like already, I know your grandpa raised you. Right?
Close. My grandma.
Dang it, that was close. I was reaching. All right, man. Well, I was close. I really appreciate the time. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Bradley, just stay on for a sec. I'm going to end this, but we'll still be on the chat together. Again, check out these books: Horror Comics #1, Leave the Light On #1, Exciting #1 and 2. And there's going to be plenty more. Get on it early before it becomes one of those books where you go on eBay and they're $100. And it's just.
Also, if you want to get my very first published work, look up magazine #3 and #4, volume 4 that came out last year. You won't be disappointed. Guaranteed.
You guys heard it. First published work. All right, man. Well, thanks again. I really enjoyed this. You guys, thanks for stopping by. Just so you know, I want to do 2 quick announcements. Chin Potter at sinpotter.com. He's my boy. He's here with me all the time drawing. He's having his first auction, and he's got good books on 6/6. So make sure to sub to Sin Potter. And also at 10 o'clock tonight will be the review for Dark Phoenix, guys. We went and saw it yesterday. The review's up at 10 o'clock. Go ahead.
Saw it already?
It's not out. Yeah, I saw it already.
Wow. What?
So I have this thing. I mean, I know you watch some of the stuff, but my friends are movie critics, and they're pretty big time movie critics. They get me in everything. So I have a whole movie film critic review part of this channel too.
Just let me know. Does it suck?
No.
Great.
There you go. But okay, you guys, I'll see you later. Thanks again for stopping by. Hit that like button if you guys, please sub if you're new. And hopefully we're going to be hearing a lot more about Mr. Golden in the future. I'm super excited for him, and I can't wait to pick up some more of those books. Thanks again, guys. Have a great one.